So here we have this ancient fresco from the Minoan culture showing an individual leaping over a bull. And there's a lot of debate surrounding whether this is even humanly possible or whether this even happened in the first place. But we're going to turn away from all that debate and we're going to look at how this particular image displays how to inspire action. As a ruler, someone who's gifted in the mind, you want to make imagery that prompts people to act. Not necessarily to act right away, because you don't want someone to run out in front of a bull simply because you have that thought. Instead, you want to inspire them to train towards that action, to train their skills and their abilities. So the first step in really inspiring them is to idealize the form. When you look at the artwork here, the human forms are idealized. You have limber, strong, athletic human forms, and you also have an idealized animal. The bull's neck is thicker, its head is larger, its shoulders, its front shoulders are more muscular to show the power of the animal. It's an idealized form because as human beings, it's not our job to replicate truth. There's only one who is true, and therefore only one who has truth. Our job is to put our own free-willed interpretation on the truth. And we see that in art, and that is simply the reality of human existence. So after you idealize the form, then you can idealize the process. Remember, as a mental wizard, your job is not to break down the process, but simply to show that it is feasibly possible. So when you look at the piece of art, you have a simple 3-step process for how to leap over a bull. Now, this is funny because when you actually break it down, you're like, this is so ridiculous. You would use the horns as a prop and then flip over onto the animal's back and then back to your feet and it would be perfect. It's so outlandish, it's just hard to fathom. But when you look at the picture, it's like, all right, I see how it works. But you idealize the process. Now we have present day individuals who leap over the animals. They don't follow this process of using the horns as a prop and then touching the animal's back to flip over, but they do a lot of interesting and very exciting actions in getting over top of the bull. But they don't actually follow the idealized process. And that's important because as a will, you're not telling them exactly what to do. You're just inspiring them to figure out how to do this or something like this. So as you idealize the form of the human and the bull, you also idealize the process that will need to take place in some form, but you make it so simple that they feel inspired to go and start training for it. And finally, then you have to idealize the glory. If you're looking for someone to act out your thought, you have to give them an awesome place, a place that's exciting, a place that's an end that their body wants to be. So when you look at a piece of art, you got the first picture where it's very intense. He's grabbing the horns and then flipping over the animal onto the back. So now there's a lot of focus and balance and coordination. But then look at that final image of the man. Poised, hands raised to the crowd. There's the glory right there. And that's what every human body wants to be at that place. Now it knows it's got to do some crazy things to get there. But if your image doesn't have a place for the body to be glorified, then it's going to be very hard for you to inspire people to act in line with your thoughts. So take a close look. There's even a smile on that final individual's face because he nailed it. The glory is now his or hers and he can just bask in that. And that's what every human body wants, a glorious place on the stage of life. And as a mental ruler, you get to design the image that will lead to that specific location. So, as a will, you inspire actions by creating idealized imagery.